What Occupy is, I feel the world has gone in the really wrong direction for many decades, probably as long as I've been alive. So the way that the systems are run, capitalism, democracy, and fractional reserve banking have just made a really toxic mix for all societies that adopt those sort of three mechanisms of society. And I think what we should really be doing is having a serious look at them and having a serious analysis of what alternatives there could be, and maybe choosing a new type of series of systems and just go in and do it. Find something that's better, because I don't think the system could work. There could be several things that happen, but I think all of them are going to be pretty bad for the majority of the world's population. Most likely will there be some kind of large-scale war. There'll possibly be food riots. They could withdraw money supply, and they'd create massive, like a recession unseen in human history. So all these things are possible, and none of them are good. So if we looked at a new system to replace the current system of democracy, capitalism, and fractional reserve, maybe we could avert, a horrifying situation for many peoples of the world. I woke up, and then I didn't wake up. I actually stayed up all night because it was very difficult to sleep there. The council came around at 2 minutes to 7 and handed out all these notices, and I just thought, this is looking bad. This is a surprise, and I basically packed my stuff and left, and I was gone in 22 minutes. I took my stuff, and I took some other stuff that people wanted me to take because they were worried that it might get destroyed, and the chaos and mayhem that might ensue. And I basically went home exhausted and fell asleep, and yeah, so I sort of saw it on TV later on, and I'm kind of glad I wasn't there because it was very ugly and a very tiring ordeal for a lot of people. I think they were extremely heavy-handed in the footage that I saw. But on the other side of it, to be fair, some of the protesters had promised to leave if they were asked to leave, and that didn't happen. So there were different groups vying for control of Occupy Melbourne at the time, which made it a very complicated situation. But in the end, I think the police acted in a very heavy-handed way, and they should have found a different way to deal with it, because bringing in extreme violence to a movement which is touting itself as non-violent and proving that it's non-violent over a period of more than 5 days, I think was excessive and unnecessary. I think it kind of shows the way that that's ironic. Now there's an ambulance. I think it shows that the system has been hijacked. The current system has been hijacked by monetary interests, and they want this shut down. They do not want us to have time to really engage with the rest of the public, to get the messages out there, get people to think, get people to talk, get people to think that there could even be another way. And I think they really don't. That's actually a cop car. They really don't want us to have any foothold. And it's most interesting today that we've lodged our case in the federal court just over the road there, that the council have been very quiet up till now, short of some sort of last-minute raid in the sort of slight drizzle we have now. I think they've decided to throw in their hand because it would look very ugly, acting now that the case has been filed. So there's all kinds of things that could happen. No one's really certain. I mean, they've never really been that predictable in their actions either. Well, there's several things. The first thing is the revolution will not be televised. So if you're going to watch TV and expect to see everything happen and learn what you need to know, you're looking in the wrong place. Mainstream media largely is not the right place to look. You should be looking at the internet. You should be looking at independent media. You should be looking at maybe even underground or grassroots sources. Zines, flyers, those sort of things. I mean, you're more likely to hear the truth about this from someone who's not trying to make huge amounts of money than someone who's just trying to break even or make a tiny profit. That's probably the first thing I tell you. And the second thing I tell you is, find out the realities of our monetary system. I mean, people don't question where money comes from. It's to their detriment. Henry Ford stated that it's good that people don't understand the monetary system, because if they did understand it, there'll be a revolution by the next morning. And that's Henry Ford, a great industrialist of the 20th century. So yeah, find out where money does come from. I mean, several times we've had our people arrested here, put into a divvy van, and we just scream out, where does money come from? And I think we've really got even the police questions saying, what are these hippies going on about? Where does money come from? What the hell is that they're doing? And for me and several other people, that's the crucial, critical issue. That's the cornerstone of all of our problems, where money comes from and who controls it. Because it's not what people think. And then I implore people to find out that for themselves, and anything else they hear, question it, find out. Is what people are telling you true? Question me even. If I've told you something you don't believe, find out an alternative source of information. Learn how to evaluate multiple sources of information and find out what's most likely to be the truth. And I think that's an important skill for the 21st century. We're overloaded with information. You've got to make up your own mind of what's real and what's not.